So the next component we're going to look at in our kit is our ultrasonic sensor. This is used for measuring distances. Now it's a very simple principle. There's a speaker and a microphone. The speaker sends out an ultrasonic pulse. When that hits an object, it will bounce back and be picked up by the microphone. The little chips then do a little bit of mathematics on it, involving the speed of sound, which is 340 meters per second approximately. And by working out the time and knowing the speed, it can then fairly accurately work out the distance between the sensor and the object. That's a really useful feature for things like avoiding obstacles and avoiding collisions. So for us to use that, we need to have 4 wires attached to it. So we have a voltage, a ground, a trigger pulse and an echo pulse. Now we're going to use 4 wires. I've just peeled these off my strip of jumper cables. The female end will push fit straight on to my sensor. However, I want to keep that and use the female end on my all-in-one robotics board to the header pins that I've just joined up. So I'm going to solder on the 4 male pins on the opposite side of it onto the board here. So I'm just going to get a helping hand and drop it in place here. Okay, there's my ultrasonic sensor. There's the trigger and there's the return, and here's the 4 pins. Now, if you wanted to, you could take those little header pins off and solder these guys directly in place underneath. However, it's not necessary for what we want to do. I'm going to just solder these 2 guys on in place here. So to do that, I'm going to take my soldering iron. I'm going to apply a little bit of solder onto each one of these pins. One, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, now it doesn't matter which wire goes where at the moment, because it's when we connect them to our microbit that it gets important. So I'm going to take these 4 wires, just holding the ribbon cable flat, and I'm going to work from the center ones outside. So I'm going to start here on this guy, and I'm just going to put a little bit of heat to him. Okay, there's one. The next one, I'm going to put a little bit of heat to it. There we go. Third one on the very outside. And then lastly, I'm going to work to the outside again. There we go. Okay, so very quick and easy. I've hooked up my ultrasonic sensor that on one end it's set up that it's connected solid, and on the other end I now have the female connections that I can use to hook up to my all-in-one robotics board. When I bring it across, I can hook straight into these header pins.